From the beginning, they said, hey, we hired you to play like you. We don't want you to play more or less like Duane Allman. We want you to always play however you feel. And if you feel like paying tribute to Duane, then pay tribute to Duane. But if you don't, then do what you feel like doing. So it was always up to me how much of Duane's spirit to kind of conjure up, you know. But I think I was the right guy for the job because I grew up listening to that music and had played that music in bar bands and garage bands and in my bedroom. And I had known the guys since 1980. So there was a big history there, you know. Right now we're going through a period of time where a lot of people think that the kind of rock music that we play maybe is dead or is non-existent. I think it's really up to the musicians to give us good rock and roll music, because if you're only going to play retro music but you're not going to write it or play it or sing it as well as the people who came before you, then what's the point? You got to compete with what I think is some of the greatest music of all time. And if you're not going to get in there and compete with that stuff, then you might as well adhere to the trends. You know, we personally always look backwards for inspiration. Blues, jazz, folk music, soul music, it's all there, and there's so much you could never discover, and we just kind of look backwards and mix it all together in search of a new voice. We all grew up in a time period where rock bands improvised and, you know, recorded live albums of longer versions of the songs, and guitar solos were really long, and you could really pick the brains of the people that we loved growing up. And in garage bands or playing in clubs or whatever, we just all thrived on that kind of music. And some generations that came later didn't really improvise as much. And I think for us, we've just been doing it all our lives, so it's kind of part of what we do. We're not scared to go out on a limb musically. You know, it's different every night. We'll go out some nights and just kind of travel down a path where none of us know what's going to happen. We know how to get ourselves out of it if it gets too crazy. But a lot of what we do is based on something as simple and timeless as call and response. One person will play something, another person will respond to that, another person will respond to that. It's like musical conversation. And some of that is having the right chemistry of players, and some of it's just not being scared to let go of your preconceived ideas of how the music goes or how the song goes. There are nights that I'll start a solo, and right at the beginning of my solo, Woody or Matt will play something that totally causes me to change direction. And that's what makes us grow as a band. That's what makes us get better. Cream, Hendrix, Johnny Winter, eventually the Allman Brothers, but I studied everybody from Billy Gibbons and Santana to David Gilmour to Steve Howe of Yes. Then I went into a lot of the jazz guys and all the great blues guitar players. I've probably stolen from just about everybody out there.